Hello, welcome to the Karo Kirsch Podcast. My name is Karo and this is a video podcast where I like to talk about all the cross stitch I've been up to. It's been 3 weeks since we had a little get together and I've been busy. I have 8 projects I want to show you today, one of which is a finish and 3 new starts. I think this is unheard of. Like, for one, I don't really have that many finishes, and I think this is the 3rd finish in a row. I mean, they've all been smalls, yes, but still. But even more unlike me, I feel like, is having 3 new starts within the span of 3 weeks, and the last 2 new starts were like all within the last week. So some were crazy spontaneous and others more planned, but more on that later. I would like to kind of go through my projects a little bit as I was stitching on them. That means we are going to get started with my Mylestönn Manor projects. I have 3 projects that I stitched on within my Mylestönn Manor game. I've been doing that since December last year. I love it. I still do, but I've slowed down on it a little bit. So, but yeah, let's just look at those projects. I think the last time we talked, I was still busy on my bird summer piece stitching. I was still busy with that. But I want to show that to you after the next project because I was thinking of going down to the stairs or into the master bathroom where my Witcher piece is. And I ended up going into the master bathroom because it happened to be the 4th of May. May the 4th be with you. And I started my Witcher piece on May. So it has nothing to do with Star Wars, but that's kind of why I remembered. Because, I said in some other episodes like, ooh, May the 4th be with you, but this has nothing to do with it. But anyway, so I ended up stitching on this project. And I needed to do 800 stitches. And I ended up doing 814 stitches on this. So hang on, let me unfold this and kind of refold this so I can show it properly. And this is where I am. So I did a lot during the Great British Bake Off that I did last fall. So I finished all his face and I started working on this page here. So I'm working this one page by page. So I'm doing cross country within the page and then I'll just finish my thread if I still have some left once all the stitches are done. But this page is very confetti heavy because we have the chainmail here of his armor. And so I'm not sure. I'm stitching this, by the way, on 32 count with a CXC 1/110 stitch. And I'm really liking the coverage. I'm adding a strand of just sewing thread to the 310. I think that is actually DMC. Yeah, it's a DMC 310 with a strand of sewing thread because I was worried about the coverage. And so far I'm liking that. And so I ended up doing 814 stitches. I'm not sure if I mentioned that. Yes, and I'm now at 2.8% on this piece. So this is actually, I think, my largest piece. This has over 300,000 stitches, but it doesn't look it because it's on 32 count. So it's a very small piece of fabric and I have very tight margins on this, I recall. But so that was this. Let me put this back. Oh, let me show you. This is actually how it will look like once it is done. I charted this one myself and I also put the image together with just images from the internet. The main background is from a game called Old World that has come out of the Witcher franchise, and then those figures are just pasted in, basically. Hey, okay. No zips. I opened all my bags in the hopes I don't have a million zips on this. So the next project I want to show you is sitting in the hallway on my level 2, and that is my bird summer piece. I started this one in March last year on my mother-in-law's birthday, because this piece will be for her. It is a Luca-S kit, and this is what it will look like in the end. I actually just watched Erica from Stitchy Reese Pieces, I think is her channel. I'll link her down below. I'm not certain on her channel name right now. She has held this into the camera on her last episode, and she actually started in the top, and basically if we were to put our two projects together, we would nearly see the full image. It's so pretty. I'm really having fun on this. I wasn't drawn to this at all after my start, but now I'm really enjoying it now that I have it in my Mylestönn Manor. And again, I had to finish a turn still last time we talked, and I since had another turn on this. So in total, I had to put 2,840 stitches on this. But some of those you've seen last time. I added 2,376 stitches since last time, and I'm actually hoping I have it all in the hoop. I didn't take the hoop off. I'm just keeping my fingers crossed that everything new that I did is on here. So I continued, I finished this, I think it's not a rose, I think it's a peony. If somebody knows, please correct me. But I think this is a peony, and now I've moved over to this flower here, which might also be a peony, I don't know. And this bird, there's a bird here, and yeah, I think Erica, she's done the head of the bird. So yeah, we're about to cross lines on these pieces. So I'm really happy. Obviously, I like this because there's a ton of blues in this. And last time I said this is 18 count, and I'm really enjoying on this, and that's why I decided to get some 18 count fabric for my Lola crow cell. Turns out this is 16 count. But I still enjoy it. So I'm stitching this 2/1 full cross with the kit materials again. And yeah, really having fun with this. And this is, I think, the biggest progress that I've had on all my pieces. And that's all thanks to Mylestönn Manor. Oh yeah, and I hit milestones. So we crossed 25% for a milestone, but we also crossed 40% for a milestone. I actually reduced the milestones because technically, I don't know exactly the stitch count. It's defined by stitch count of what percentage rate you get a milestone. But since this is very small, I actually decided not to give a milestone point every 10%, but only every 20%. So otherwise I would have also gotten one for the 30%. But I also put in more than 5,000 stitches. I'm now at 5,614 stitches on this piece. And yeah, that was all the milestones. So 3 milestones on this one. Yay. Okay. Next one. Let me just put this in. Yay. Okay, and the last piece that I have to show you, which is my finish from the Mylestönn Manor game, is the piece that was sitting on my stairs. And that was my Hanged Man from the Nostalgic Tarot series by the Witchy Stitcher. And I finished it. So I'm very happy. This is done. So I needed to add 783 stitches in order to get the finish. And I just did that with one roll. The roll actually was for 950 stitches. So I obviously did not complete that turn, but I decided I don't care. I'm done with that turn. And I got 3 milestone points for that because you get 3 for a finish. I think according to Jessie Marie's rules, you actually get 5. But since I added a few other crutches, so to speak, I felt like 5 was a bit much, especially for non-full coverage finishes that are quite small. But I'm also only get 3 milestone points if I ever were to finish one of my full coverages. But anyways, So yay, this is done. This was stitched on 40 count fabric that I hand dyed myself. I used a stash conversion with a mix of DMC and CXC and Anchor. And I obviously also did a color conversion from her original more pink to a very blue Batty Bat. So yay. And that means my project on the stairs is done. And as I said last time, I'm going to have the wheel decide what project will go in on the stairs now. And I thought it might be fun to do that together. So let's just go ahead. I'm actually recording on my phone my sound, so we'll see if I can keep doing that. I think so. While we look at my wheel spin. So I prepared a wheel here with basically all my projects that aren't in the game yet, with the exception of Laura Ragnarok. No. So what you see here is the project that I would be okay with being on the stairs. So at first I thought I'll just add all the projects that aren't in the Mylestönn Manor yet. But I realized I really enjoy having some pieces outside of the Mylestönn Manor. And I already know if they were locked into the Mylestönn Manor, I wouldn't want to stitch on them. Sorry, I need to take this down. I'm a talker. So yeah, I realized I wouldn't enjoy having them in the Mylestönn Manor because once they're in there, I wouldn't feel good stitching on them outside of Mylestönn Manor because then they hit like milestones and stuff. So I just know that I wouldn't. So I took off my Snowman Cottage and the Yin and Yang piece from these options because I just love those projects too much right now. I pull them out like you're gonna see them. So I want to stitch on them kind of freely outside of a game. That's basically why I took them out as options. And then kind of as a replacement, I put in 3 projects that are already in the chart, in the game. And that is Lara, Ragnarok, and Winter, because those are kind of in outside rooms that I don't really get to too much. So that's why I put those. And I'm just realizing that I still have Museum After Midnight in here. And I also don't want that in there because it's going to be hard with the milestone points and stuff if I don't know the final stitch count, which I don't have yet. So we can add that into the game once it's all released. So yay. So that's the final wheel. And now let's just spin it and figure out what project we have. Oh no, I have the sound on. Woohoo! We have Kokomu. That's actually good. I've been thinking of Kokomu a lot because there's people on FlossTube that are doing Margaret Morales May. I heard Jessie Marie mention that first kind of back in April on her Instagram, and I was like, oh yeah, that sounds like a great idea. I'm gonna totally take part in that. And I've been wanting to pull Kokomu out, but I just haven't. So this is good that this will go into the game because it seems like all the projects that I'm not really pulling out will still get quite a bit done if I take them into the game. So yes, so that is on my Mylestönn Manor, I guess. Oh no, hang on, one last thing. I drew a new card. Did I complete cards? I think I did complete cards. Oh yeah, I had a card that asked me to hit a milestone on a chart using a symbolism. And I had the hangman count for that because there's hearts on there. And heart is a symbol for love. So that was a card there that I got. And then I have the one that I told you. Oh yeah, and then I pulled a new card for obviously completing a whip on the stairs and hitting 3 milestone points. And so I pulled a new card, and that one is sending me to the kitchen. So that'll be good. Because I need to still complete a few of these milestone cards in my private, in my common rooms, even though I now have access to my private rooms, but I don't have access to all of them because some are still locked in the cards of my common rooms. So, and this one is, I think, already the second of 2 for the master bedroom, so that I can go in there as well one time at some point. Okay, anyways, so that is now all my Mylestönn Manor stuff. Moving on, so I continued stitching on a few whips. So there's 2 more whips that you've already seen that I would like to show you. And the first of which is Yin and Yang, as I mentioned. I just love this piece. I don't really have a full explanation for this. And I have a horrible printout. I realize the printout is just terrible, but whatever. So this is what the chart will look like in the end. It's called Yin and Yang River Scene, and it's by an Etsy shop called Pax Closet. And I really just love the colors, and that's why I wanted to stitch it. And I dyed my own fabric. It's a 25 count Zweigart fabric with one of those, I think it's called vintage sand in the American world. And I added, how many stitches? I added 1,494 stitches on this. And I actually moved the hoop, but I think you should still be able to see everything that I've done, because I completed a few more stitches down here. But then I just felt like moving up. And as you can see, we have a moon. I think it's looking very good. It feels stretched a bit. Tell me if I'm just seeing that or if you feel like the moon is round. But to me, it feels a tiny little bit stretched. But that might just be due to the fabric stretching. But yeah, I have a bit of a problem with this chart right now, because I don't know if you remember, if you've been with me before, I substitute one of the colors here with a Kreinik that I'm just going to use in this dividing line of the yin and yang, because there is this, it's charted in there. I feel like it's supposed to be a gold strip, so I decided why not just put a gold in there, but I can't find it. I don't know where it is. It just got lost in my mania here. I have a feeling it might have just got swallowed up by the craft table of my kids. So I need to tidy that up and hope that I'll find it in there. But yeah, that would be the best color to kind of just follow that arch up there. I just kind of want to know where everything lands. But I think it's going to be pretty perfect because I already grid it. So I basically know where all the stitches go, but it'll be nice to just see it all come together. So I'm very excited. So my plan is to kind of just scatter stitch up here all the way to the very tip of this point, because I removed the background of this bit here. I'm not stitching the beige, and then kind of just fill in from the top. That is my game plan right now. I think I'm gonna leave the birds for now. But I wanted to do the moon. I'm very happy with it. Actually finished, I did an hour of stitching before work this morning, and I finished the moon because there were a few random confetti stitches still missing, but yay. So this is the fabric. Basically just gonna be stitching within the white area, and I'm gonna have all this to hopefully put another piece on there. I'm very excited. I love this color. This is basically my favorite color. Blue-gray. Yay, yay, yay. So, and it's living in a new bag. I've been making a lot of bags, and I'm actually using up these Amazon bags, and I really like it. So I even used the zipper, and I virtually just put some fabric around it. So yeah, love this. Oh yeah, and it is at 6.7%. So I still have ways to go, which I love, because I love the project so much. Oh, sorry, I did a zipper. Oh well. The next project that I really love is my Snowman Cottage piece. I actually managed to film that floss tuber tag that Jade, the 310 stitcher, started. I filmed it. I made it as a stitch with me because I felt like that's more interesting than to look at my face the whole time. And you're gonna have to watch this where I said which one is my favorite chart. But this might be a bit of a giveaway now. Anyways, so I stitched on this. This is what it will look like. So this is called a Snowman Cottage. The artwork is by Kate Brazier and it was charted by Gecko Rouge. And they actually had this as a chart on their Patreon. So I did not get this as a kit. I just got the chart of a Patreon. And I modified it a little bit because there was a big chunk of kind of pink. I mean, you can still see the snow. It's this colored snow, which is a larger area. And I wasn't too keen on that area. So I basically put this chart into Wind Stitch and then cropped around this bottom bit here. And just moved it all up. I think I took out like a row of 20 stitches. And then the other thing I did is remove the background in here. So all the snow fields and also those light blue snow fields, I just removed the background because I dyed my own fabric. It's again a 25 count, but this time an opalescent. And I think it's going to look like snow, like sparkling snow. And I also did quite a bit on this. I added 1,679 stitches. So this is all what I did, but I think all the new progress is in here. So I just continued stitching these defining lines. I think there were a few stitches. Oh yeah, there's probably a few scatter stitches that are new in the roof. But other than that, it's mainly finishing that chimney and then just those lines. So yeah, it's a lot of light on light stitching, but I don't mind it too much. Like up here, it's a little bit harder to see, but it also doesn't really matter that much. So I'm very lenient. And yeah, I'm gonna be a little tight for room, but I think everything should fit in the frame, and I hope it's not too close to the border that I can still stitch in the frame, because I was slightly intoxicated when I started this and wasn't watching for my margins. But it'll fit on it, so that'll be good. And yeah, I'm just very excited how this is getting along. Oh, sorry, this is blowing up a little bit. Yeah, and this is sitting at 6%. And I don't know, have I shown you this bag? I definitely made this a while ago, but I'm not sure if I ever shown this. Different projects have been in there, so I think I had the Witcher in there for a while. But this is kind of already taking my head. I wanted to talk about this later, but I am in the process of making a lot of project bags, and I have a few new ones to show you as well. One of which, this one. This might be my favorite out of the bunch that I made though. This is perfect. I kind of figured out my perfect size now. This is perfect for the number 3 nerd troops, which is the majority of my projects. So that's mainly what I'm going to be doing now, but this one fits well as well. Anyways, so next project. When the new starts. So one of those 3 new starts you will expect, because I've mentioned it twice now before that I'm planning on doing this. And this is the Lola Crow sale that is currently going. There's many people that started it, and they're all much further along than me. But I started this as well, and I want to show you. So this is going to be for my son, because he's a 4-year-old or nearly 4-year-old, and he loves dinosaurs. What a surprise. And so yeah, I'm making this for him. The last Lola Crow cell that I stitched was the Deadly Aquarium one, and that one my daughter got, because while I was stitching on it, she was like, ooh, I like this. So I said, well, do you want to have it? And now it's hanging in her room. So let me show you my start on it. It's a very little start, but you can definitely tell which project this is supposed to be. I added 447 stitches. So I started in the center top with the whale skeleton with the white, but there's still 2 more colors to add there. But I decided to just go ahead with the 310 because this is my new travel project. So I'm virtually just grabbing this and a pair of scissors, and then I'm good to go. So yeah, I already made a major mistake on this that I had to rip back, and it's already put back in. I had another straight 0 day. Because all of this entire bit of black here, I already had done, and then I realized that I started like it's starting here, but I started kind of one lower, so it was too far there and one stitch too low. So yeah, I had to take it all out and then I stitched it back in. So yay, I technically should have had a little bit more progress, and it was in the naughty corner for a little bit because I obviously didn't feel like frogging, but I'm glad I'm glad I managed. So yay, I ended up purchasing an 18 count because I was enjoying the Bird Summer so much on the 16 count and thought it was an 18 count, but honestly I like the 18 count as well. It's obviously a little bit more full. I'm not sure I would like it as a full coverage with 2 strands over 1, but as a non-full coverage, it's okay. I mean, there's probably gonna be areas where it's a little bit more full coverage if it's anything like her other styles, but I'm still pretty confident it'll be fine. And I'm stitching this with a bunch mainly CXT threads. The colors, I think they'll be perfect for what this project is going to be. Like, I think it definitely gives the vibes of like a museum and like natural history type museum. But yeah, there's like only like 2 shades of blue in there and they're kind of green. So yeah, I'm not crazy excited about the colors, I must admit, but that's why I'm making it a travel project. It'll just get done a little bit at a time. Yay. So we're there, and I'm just assuming for now that this project will have 20,000 stitches. I think that was around what the sorry, again a zipper, what the aquarium was. So if we're assuming that, I am at 2.2%. Okay, next new start. This one is for you guys probably coming totally out of the left field. For me, actually not, because I've been in love with this image for a very long time. The first person I heard talk about this and mention this was actually Jamie from Crafty Gaming Jamie. I had to think on that name for a minute, because she is stitching the this piece called Dark Cinderella by Barrett Biggers and charted by Pain-Free Crafts. And I'm just going to insert the image of that original chart. And I really, really like it. And she kept showing it randomly, and every time she pulled it out, I was like, oh yeah, that is really beautiful, but I'm not sure. And this year, she kind of changed up her rotation, and it basically resulted in her showing this chart every single episode, at least in the beginning of the year. And then I was really like, okay, I just have to get this chart myself. So I purchased the chart from Pain-Free Crafts, but I ended up doing something very similar to what I did with my amazing loon chart, because the other chart of kind of the same series that I really liked is the dark Snow White chart. But that one is way more reddish brown as opposed to the blue and cooler tones in the dark Cinderella. So I like the dark Cinderella more, but what I really liked in the dark Snow White piece is that stag in the center. I just really like that image of like a stag at a little creek and stuff. So I was already thinking in my mind of how I could combine those 2 things. And that's what I ended up doing. And now I can just insert the image that I am planning on stitching now. But I'm already thinking of changing it again, because I guess the biggest thing that I did is that I cropped a whole bunch of her back. I didn't really feel like I needed that whole dark back of hers. So I cropped her all the way up to the shoulders. And then obviously I changed that little figure at the shore there that's standing, which is, it's nice too, but I just love the stag more with the stag, but now it's blue and not red. So there was quite a bit of photoshopping involved there. And then I also added that flower that's actually from the lower left corner of the dark Snow White piece. And I added that into that corner of the dark Cinderella piece that I cropped now, but I am considering changing that area because it still looks a little bit added on. And I actually found some flowers in the dark Cinderella piece that I might think might work better in that corner. So I might change that corner, but that won't really change the corner where I am at, where I started stitching. But just as a heads up, this chart may change. But I started it, and I started it on a piece of fabric that I had from a mystery fabric kit stash thing that I got, and I believe it is a 25 count, but it was ungridded. And I started in the top right corner, and I really wanted another 10 stitch project. What is this? This is 1,515 stitches. And I was trying to incorporate the thread icicles. You'll see that in my Stitch With Me. In my Stitch With Me, you will see that I basically, because as probably everybody, I saw the video from, I think his name is Chris, from CrossStitch Meadow. I'm sorry, I'll link him down below as well. I don't remember his channel name out of something Meadow. I think CrossStitch Meadow. He's a chart designer, like he's an artist. I think he does watercolor artwork, and then he turns them into cross-stitch charts, and he also cross-stitches them. And he has a very meticulous method of how he stitches, and he has a very great tutorial video on this process, but I just can't stitch like that. That's just does not work with my brain. But what I really liked, and I think what drew a lot of people to his video, is how neat and tidy his thread icicles look. So I did try that, but you have to watch my Stitch With Me that will probably get released at the same time as this, honestly, to see me struggle with the thread icicles. And that's the reason why I ended up just taking them out. And I actually was parking as well. I was just working on this 20 by 20 stitch block. But because I'm stitching this 2/110 stitch, you obviously always have 2 threads hanging for each parked thread or each parked color. And it just gets so much, and I just don't like it. I thought I'd give it a go because I'm actually enjoying it on my loom project, but I'm just not enjoying it here. So I ended up working those in. I'm currently, the plan is to work on this strip of 2 blocks all the way across. But yeah, finishing my thread. I might honestly work these in just to get rid of the hanging threads there, but then kind of concentrate on just finishing all the way over there. So I reach the other end of the chart. But yeah, this is that. Oh yeah, and the other thing, I started this with CXC threads just to save some money, and I have all of the colors with CXC because I got a full set of that, and I could just get going. But I actually since ordered the Painting Fairy cross stitch thread that also everybody else on FlossTube is raving about right now. And that is 100% cotton threads. And I did pose that question on the Full Coverage Fanatics group, because this is very thick. I mean, I think this is a particularly high confetti area. So yeah, but I want to see if that floss will be a little better. Still the 2/110, but if that doesn't work either, then I might convert this to a full cross. Because my yin and yang river piece is the same count. It's also 25 count, also with CXC, but I'm doing that 1 thread full cross and I have no issue with that. And that is crazy confetti. So it's really I think the fact that it's so thick on the back. I mean, look at that. I mean, yeah, it just looks chaotic, but it's just really thick. So it's just not, I don't enjoy it as much as a full cross, but obviously it goes faster. So that's what I enjoy about that. So I hope the Painting Fairy threads, which might come today, I think. Oops, the shipping notification said it might come today. So we'll see. But yeah, that is my new start. And I love it. And it's been in the works for a while. Kind of in the works in my head, but also, I mean, I think I pulled the trigger on the chart sometime in February or something, but I was tinkering around a lot with the charting. So yeah, I ended up charting it myself. I don't know. I don't think I've said that, but it is bigger. It is bigger than the Paint Free Craft chart. I think the Paint Free Craft chart is 400 stitches or 407 or something across. And mine is, I think, exactly 500. So I made it wider because I wanted a bit more detail, especially that fairy, that is like the moon and a fairy. I'm going to have to insert the picture somewhere. And the fairy, I just couldn't get detail into that fairy. Like the colors in that fairy are just like, oh yeah, another thing, there's blends. I had to add blends in order to get a little bit more detail into that fairy. So that's why I made it a little bit bigger than the Pain-Free Crafts one as well. Otherwise, I mean, the original plan was just to use the Pain-Free Crafts chart and then just add the other details in. But I just didn't end up liking how the fairy looked. That was basically what it came down to and why I decided to make it bigger, because obviously won quite a few stitches by cropping off a whole bunch. But yeah, that's kind of what I did. Me and tinkering around with charts. But now we're down to one last new start, and it's a teeny tiny one because I ended up signing up for a retreat, my very first retreat that I will go to. I just missed one in April. Yeah, in April. That happened in the Netherlands, which is actually the closer to me than the one I'm going to now. But that was basically on the weekend of my daughter's birthday. So I obviously did not go then. So I was a bit sad about that. But then I decided to go to StitchBasel this year, which is happening in September, I think. And I kind of chickened out last time. I actually did sign up before, but then I chickened out kind of last minute because I was just too nervous to go. And it is very far from me, despite it being in Germany. Or is it actually already in Switzerland? It's in Basel, but there is like a German part of the town and then there is a Swiss part of the town. So I'm actually not quite sure which part we're in, but whatever. It is basically still in Germany, but it's like, I think a 6-hour train ride or something. So it is quite far for me to go. But I signed up and I'm very excited. I also already purchased my train tickets. I still need to figure out accommodations, but whatever. There's going to be a smalls thing there. And I decided I want to make something for a small. At first I was like, oh, what am I going to make and how? Because you need to fully finish that. And you guys know I'm not big on that here. Finished a few pieces, but I haven't fully finished them. But now I have a very cool idea. I'm not going to say anything just in case somebody watches who is also planning to go there and partake in the smalls. But I'm going to show you the chart that I'm going to make. And if you don't want to see, for whatever reason, and you want to be surprised if you're going there, then just skip to timestamp that's here. Because the small I decided to make is from the book that I have not brought with me, but it's the Cross Stitch in the Forest by Max Pigeon. Because he has a very cool small little chart in there that I wanted to stitch anyways. I already had it kitted up. Here, this is the lovely floss that it uses, all my favorite colors. And yeah, I started this one. As called for on 14 count black Ada, and I started in the bottom with some trees. So this is 214 stitches, already bringing me to 12%. So yeah, I'm really hoping I get this done quick and I also get the fully finished done quick. I'm not gonna show the fully finished on here. I'm going to take a picture and then show you after, but I'm really hoping that I'll actually also stitch the companion for it, which is this one. If I manage all of this before, then I guess I can decide which one I want to keep, because then I'm going to also fully finish it the same way I did this, and then I have one, and then the person who gets the small will have one, and then we have a little partnering thingies. Yay! So that's my plan. I'm very excited. But yeah, for now I'm just going to stitch this one. It's called Eagle Ravine, and one of these is A and one of these is B. I have no idea, but I'm stitching this one for now. So, yay. Okay, and that was it. That was all my new starts, and I'm very excited about it. I actually haven't, like, despite it being so many projects, my total stitch count, like since last time, it's like 7,500 stitches. It's actually not that much. I had quite a few non-stitchy days in May. Here, I'm still kind of doing my cross-stitch journal. I mean, I'm like a full week, no, 2 weeks, 2 full weeks behind. But you can see here, like there's already 4 no stitch days. I didn't stitch last night. Like, yeah, I haven't been doing too good this month, but that's okay. That's okay. Still enjoying this book though. Yeah, so if that is all you were here for, I'm done with all the cross-stitch talk. I have a tiny little bit of other talk. So if you're leaving here, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on my next episode. And if you want to stay, then, oh yeah, hang on. One thing though, before you guys go. Actually, a thing that I totally forgot to mention, I think the past 2 or 3 episodes already, we had a chart voting, or we had a thing voting. Because I wanted to give back to the community. So I gave you guys a choice of a few different artworks or art journal spreads that I made to choose from for me eventually to chart for you guys and give you as a free chart. And we actually have a winner for that. I actually haven't looked at the totally up-to-date poll on this, but I highly doubt this changed, but we can just quickly go there. Yes, so we had 4 art journal spreads, or 1 sketchbook spread as a choice. We had Reef, we had Sakura, we had Fly, and we had Strong. And we had 31 votes on what is your favorite chart, or what is your favorite image for me to chart, and the winner is Reef! Yay! So we had 52% that voted for Reef, and then Sakura was second with 26%, Strong third with 19%, and then Fly last with 3%. So I'm going to chart Reef. I haven't done so yet though, so I'll let you know. I've started working on it. I think I'll need to boost the contrast and the colors a little bit in that image, because otherwise it will just be dark stitching. Not very fun. So I have to tinker around with that a little bit. But as I said, I was already kind of in the middle of doing this, so I wanted to continue, like, just deal with one chart at a time. But I'm done with that now, although now I'm kind of thinking of changing. I don't know. Again, no promises on when we're going to see that chart, but that is the chart that I'm going to eventually make. But yeah, other than that, I've been actually very busy sewing. That's another reason why I didn't get as many stitches done. It all started... I had kind of a surge of sewing bags back in March, or like beginning of March or something, because I started going to a stitchy group, textile group that was advertised in our fabric shop. I just saw a little flyer that they're meeting, and I was like, okay, let's go there. And they're calling themselves like a textile group. And I realized when I was there that they're actually all mainly sewing. So it's led by a really lovely lady who is a trained seamstress. She's now, like, she's not working anymore. She's like in her retirement. She's retired now. Most of the ladies actually are. There's a few retired ladies, but she definitely is. But she's leading the group, and most of them are sewing, and they obviously have her to ask questions. And I came there with my stitching and some knitting, and which was fine. Like, they're open to all the crafts there. And there was actually another lady that came there one time that was also only knitting, so it's totally okay. But yeah, obviously they were all sewing, and I was like, ooh, I should bring all my sewing bags here, because the thing I'm struggling with is putting this edging around. Like the bag looks all great all the way before I put this thing around. Then once I put this thing around, it all just gets wonky and weird. I really don't even want to show you in detail. And so yeah, and I had this idea for a friend, and maybe she's received it by now. It's en route still, to make a bag for her. And but I obviously wanted that one to be neat and nice. So I was like, okay, I should get everything cut and ready, and then for the next thing I go there, I can ask that seamstress lady to help me get it all together nice and neat. And I think it worked. I mean, I was happy. It's not perfect by no means, but I was happy enough with it to send it off to my friend, and I hope she'll like it as well. And I think I made one other bag kind of at that time, but I cut a bunch of fabrics because I wanted to make a ton of bags. I didn't end up doing that, but for some reason in the past week, and it still looks like mayhem. I'm happy you can't see my floor right now because there's just tons of fabric. Some of it is already cut to size and others isn't. But I made a whole lot of bags. So a few you've already seen kind of en route, but I wanted to show you some more that I made. So I made one humongous one, which technically is for a nerd troop size 4. I have my hydrangea chart in there right now. But I mean, it just had to go in there. I mean, look at the colors. So yes, but this is a number 3 nerd, but that's fine. Just more room. So that is a bag I made. Then this might be my second favorite, just because for my other really highly loved project. And yes, this isn't a partner bag to a certain bag that's flying through the air right now. But yeah, this is for my pumpkin spice cottage piece. And I was on the lookout for a Halloweeny, pumpkin-y fabric, and I found this one. Unfortunately, it's not as blue as the piece. It's obviously quite a bit more green, but it's still so pretty. I've shown you those fabrics. Whenever I've shown you those fabrics, that when I had my first search, when I did the first 2 bags, the one for my friend as well. But I finally managed to sew my own. So yes, very happy with this one. And yeah, I'll have to talk to her directly, because after I finished her bag, she said something. I was like, oh no, I should have done it differently. But oh well, then it was too late. The bag was sewn. But anyways, and then the last bag that I made, which is a bit of a different style, and it's kind of stupid because I didn't think it all the way through, but I honestly still like it, is this one. So this one is mainly clear. I'm actually using, I have this shower curtain that I bought. Ooh, my camera is overheating. I need to hurry up. So I have this shower curtain that I bought, which works honestly, but I guess it's a little bit in danger of ripping one day. So far I haven't had that happen to me, but oh well. But yeah, because I'm struggling so much with that edging, I thought I'm just going to be smart and do a bag that doesn't have the edging. But then if you do the clear thing, you obviously have the raw edge on the inside. But this is actually quite tidy, and I might still be able to put some kind of edging around that, but then I'm obviously not saving the edging. But yeah, look at the bag, actually. I really love this. Color-wise, this would fit much better to my pumpkin spice cottage piece. I might do that because I'm more color-driven than image-driven. But for now, my loon is in here. So I'm actually very happy with this bag as well. And yeah, that is all the bags I did. And I feel like I just remembered something, but now I already forget it. Oh yeah. I'm using up my Amazon bags. I said that, I remember now. I said that actually already with, while I was showing you my works in progress. But yeah, I'm using up these Amazon bags because I have them now and I don't want them to go to waste. And they're actually a much sturdier material than my shower curtains. They're obviously not quite as see-through, but see-through enough that you can tell what project's in there. And so yeah, I'm using those now as well. But even if I have a few left over, those bags are actually very useful for keeping Lego sets. In case anybody needs an idea what to use those bags for, or is just desperate for a storage idea for Lego sets. Because they obviously come in different sizes, and you can usually get the instructions and then all the Lego pieces in there. Obviously, smaller sets need smaller bags, but they have very big bags, and you can fit all the, like, we have a very big set that I managed to fit in kind of the, whatever, I think it's like A2, no, not quite A2, I don't know, whatever, in a very big bag. But that's what I'm using them for. But yeah, my camera is hot. I am hot. It is very hot here, where I think everybody is saying that right now. They're in like a middle of the heat wave. It's actually cooled down already a little bit, because we had over the weekend, we had like high 30s, high 20s degrees Celsius into the 30s. And now it's gone down a little bit. Now we're in like the mid 20s. So, but yeah, it definitely feels like summer here. I'm running around in a skirt. We've been swimming already in the river that goes through our town. So yeah, we're definitely in summer here. My kids love it. I am so with it. I am not the biggest fan of summer, so I'll be suffering a little bit and be happy once fall comes around. But obviously all the fun activities you can do in the summer, I am looking forward to. So without further ado, if you're still here, throw me an emoji. How about a moon? I feel like we had a few round charts or charts with moons in them. That's what comes to mind right now anyways, to show me that you've been here all the way to the end. If you did, thank you so much. It's very much appreciated. I always love seeing little comments down there. If you're not subscribed yet, maybe consider doing so. And if you want to learn a little bit more about me and my stitching ways, why don't you go over to my other video, the Stitch With Me, that I just did to answer some floss tuber questions. And yeah, I think that's all I have to say. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on my next episode. Bye bye.